Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review, episode number 38. This I'm reviewing just the 78th episode of the anime, Smoldering Flames. This one adapts the entirety of chapters 162 and 163. Yep, with this episode officially, the last episode of the longest arc of the manga is done. And also, they start to adapt the Remodel Course arc. Now, I was hearing rumblings for the season started that, like, the Higasa arc, aka the internship arc, that was going to be adapted. That was definite. The remodel, the UA Cultural Festival, that was going to be adapted. Remodel Course was actually questionable if this was going to be adapted, but they adapted it. Yep, they're actually going to start adapting it, which I was quite surprised. Because I did not expect them to do this at all. And they are. And in case you wonder how long this arc is, it's only 6 chapters. And when I looked up online, apparently the arc actually wrapped up with episode 80. Good job. Because I kind of knew when this arc was going to be adapted that it was going to take about 2-3 chapters. That's usually have 2-3 episodes. Yep, so what happens in this episode? The first half of the episode is just dealing with the aftermath, what happened with the previous arc. Yeah, that's what's happening with the gist of it is we see Eri briefly in the episode. Now the episode opens quite unusually with Gran Torino. Yep. Now you see him basically driving to the mountain. Now this actually is anime original, this opening scene of him basically in a police car driving to where Warp Gate is. This whole first couple minutes of the episode, this is all anime original because in the manga they just open with Gran Torino and the police already in the mountains, having them basically drive their way there. That was brilliant work on the part of whoever basically came up with that. I loved that. That was really good. They get there, they meet him, and Gran Torino takes him out really easily, and then we see the guy who's meant to meet, like this gigantic person, and then we cut straight to the hospital. And in case you're wondering, did this happen in the manga with them basically cutting away from this awesome looking moment to go what Deku's up to? Yeah, that is basically straight, no change in the manga. That's exactly the order the events basically happen. So we see Deku. He's been discharged like pretty much everybody except for Eri and Lemillion. Eri is become on observation because of her illness, and everyone wants to see her, but basically, she wanted to stay to keep an eye on her, but yeah, but the doctor's there, so basically he goes visit Lemillion. And he asks, basically, Eraser had to keep an eye on his things. Now, this is also another anime original moment where he has to keep an eye on his things. Basically, you see his suit bag and his backpack. This is where we're about to leave. It's like, okay, so you rush off to his room, Lemillion's room, he opens the door, and you see Lemillion doing, basically leg stretched on top of his bed. And mostly put, this scene is completely unchanged, which basically anybody who's fans of the manga knows Studio Bones don't change scenes in the manga. They might cut some words out, but yeah, though this is the English dub for the series, I gotta hate this episode. Really good. Basically, Midoriya, despite the fact that Lemillion lost his quirk, that he think they might be able to return it to him. Thanks to possibly Eri maybe help to develop her quirk and maybe restore his quirk to him. In the case of what happened, now he says he could pass along the quirk to him from the one for all to him. He says, no, I don't want it. I don't really want it. I want my own quirk back. I don't want someone else's quirk. And we see All Might briefly after this. You see him looking at it, he go inside, but next time we see him was not for a few minutes. And then we cut to seeing Bakudo and Shudo just walking out of dorms, before we get to that, we have another anime original scene, which, yeah, this is something else they also added to the anime, because this particular, 1 minute scene, the moment once basically Deku gets out of the hospital, and, he walks there, he's Red Riot, and then the police come and says, we have to ask him what does, we have to basically do some debriefing, okay? This moment is another thing that's anime original, which is perfectly fine. I don't think anybody who loves the series, who actually loves the manga, yeah, they can perfectly understand this is perfectly fine. Yes, it's perfectly understandable why they would have this. And then we have them arriving back at the UA, which, by the way, this is another anime original moment. They have the police drop them off, and they have Otaku and Froppy show up. Yep, and they reveal the flashback that, well, they basically were talked to by Eraserhead, and Otaku kind of blames herself for the death of Sir Night Eye, but yeah, according and basically the way that Risa puts it, basically, no matter what you could not have prevented his death. Basically, I mean, she kind of blames herself for it, but Risa just don't worry about it. Just let's just move on and basically be happy. Of course, also, Lemillion basically told Deku to put on a smile. So they all arrive back, and this scene mostly unchanged once they arrive back at the dorm. Yeah, yeah. Mostly put, it's like exactly the same. Because I think the only thing they do change from this particular scene is like, I think the only thing they do change from this particular scene is just Momo's dialogue. Yeah, her dialogue is similar. They changed like a line of dialogue from her for what she says. Yeah, yeah, they changed mostly one line of dialogue. It's great to see her. First time since like episode 2 or 3 of this season she's been seen because she's been gone for a long period of time. Yeah, she was gone for a long ass period of time, and now she's back, which is great though. The fact that she's back. Yeah, and pretty much like with this particular episode that okay, yeah, and they basically was like happy to see him. Now they also add another little moment in here involving a bunny. Yeah, there's actually a scene involving a bunny. Yeah, they actually added this little thing in here. Like everybody's like happy to see them because it's been like a while since they saw this all in news. Invisible Girl hugs Froppy Otaku, or at least Okochose, I pronounce her name. Yeah, so yeah, so basically Momo goes for her some tea, which she also there's a change of dialogue, line of dialogue where she says that, well, not gonna take too long. Yeah, which it's a different line what she says in the manga, but it's perfectly fine for a change. And then basically they also add another thing here where now in case you're wondering, the electric guy, I don't remember the guy's name. He refers to Bakudo as Kachin, which normally that's something that Deku does. Why he refers to him as that, my personal guess, is because he probably heard Deku probably frequently refer to him as that, so that's my personal theory of why he decided to do that. Yep. And he's like, oh yeah, I gotta go to bed early. And then Shooter's like, oh hey everybody, I gotta go to bed early. He's like, and I think that someone they changed basically the line of dialogue here from old men to geezers. Yep. And then we cut up to the next day where we see Bakudo and Shudo, the same exact scene redone again. Like they'll walk in front of me, and then we see that they're about to go on a bus with President Mike and All Might. Yeah, as were your chaperones for today, or at least they changed those to be their bodyguards. So they decided to just they go on the bus. You don't see any scene on this. This look like a Greyhound bus. I'm like, where in the world they Ford this thing? So they drive to where the Silver Classroom is, and pretty much like they meet up with the guy with the guy who was basically an Endeavor fan, I don't remember this guy's name. We see the real Cammy. Yeah, you see her in the episode, the actual one, not the Toga impersonator one. And we see the one who Bakito doesn't like very much. He calls him Meat Boy. He's here just as a spectator. It's like, hey, I eliminated you in the first round. Yeah. And then we lead directly into, well, that pretty much ends the episode there. They're talking. And sets up the events of our next episode. Dealing with children! Which I'm looking forward to that. Yep. Not much else to say for this episode, but it was really, really good. Yep. Oh, in case you wonder why I keep stopping, because, well, some point my Discord keeps popping up. And, like, it has to crowd my attention. Yep, that's simply why I keep stopping every, like, I was stopping, like, for, like, 10 seconds not talking. Yeah, this episode overall was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yep. So, yeah, that's it for this particular review. Tomorrow, we'll definitely see a review, hopefully a new chapter of manga for a special. My next review will be a review of the newest chapters. Yes, chapters of Black Butler. Yep. Until see you. And of course, I'm hoping to still do my review for Inuyasha today. Yeah, I'm hoping to do that today, possibly today. Yeah, hopefully do that first part today. Alright? But see you next few. Bye.